to everyone world over wherever you are. Wishing you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zones in the different continents, in the different countries, in the different frame of mind you are in. We hope that you're taking care of your health and your wellness. Please take care of yourself, take care of your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, your civilization. Because if you are safe, the world is safe. And that's the way we got to be taken care of. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving ahead in our journey, every day we get two of the celebrities, two of the distinguished guests, one in the afternoon and one in the evening. And today we have got 226th webinar during this pandemic, during this lockdown, and the total focus is making education relevant. How to make the education relevant, basically with the expertise right from the global confluence of the intellectuals, scholars, counselors, teachers, educators, motivators. This afternoon, we are privileged. We have got Madam Gauri Mohan. She is a global coach and a trainer for the design thinking. And I must recall and recollect with all of you. You have done two of the panel discussions, one from United States and Canada and UK, and one you have done from the Middle East earlier on the design thinking and innovation with regard to the new education policy of India, which is now going to see the daylight, deliberations and mental marathon and the cerebrum shakes. They all are going on world over, and everybody is thinking that what exactly is to be done. So today I'm going to request our distinguished guest in the design thinking and innovation. Particularly if we can do something for our teachers' empowerment, I would be very, very happy because teacher needs a lot of hand-holding, a lot of empowerment, and a lot good to be done. Our chamber since 1994, we came into the existence. After I left the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, there was a thought process and I took over as the commissioner for the NRIs and we started the journey from there. And we started getting initially, slowly and gradually, we started humble journey with the 6,000 people. And today you have got 12 lakh plus people world over in the different countries, in the different continents, with the different perceptions. But the total focus is what we are talking about, the services sector, the service industry. Education is also the part of services sector. And at present, we have got about 30 million non-resident Indians world over in different arenas. So let's talk this afternoon. Heartiest congratulations to Honorable Prime Minister of India, Education Minister of India, and all the stakeholders, because the new education policy, which is on the way, it has been announced on 29th of July. It is getting implemented now. Deliberations are going on. 7th of August, the Honorable Prime Minister of India gave his wonderful deliberations and conviction to the whole world. And that was basically everybody got convinced, yes, India is serious and they are looking ahead. They want to get this new education policy right on ground. Now, with the new education policy, we are also focusing on another area, the research which we have carried out world over. There's going to be a lot of shortage and scarcity as far as the water is concerned in the coming times. So water shortage, when we talk about water saving ecosystem strategies and what all can be done, we are working out whether in schools, colleges, universities, at home, working places, public places. So people got to be getting empowered and awareness related to that. Women empowerment is also very important for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. When you educate a girl child, you educate so many subsequent generations. So our emphasis is also on SDG 4, SDG 5. Together, we are working on both of them. From morning 9 o'clock till evening 9 o'clock, 12 hours every day, we meet you in the different time zones, in different countries, in different continents. We start early in the morning and we finish late in the evening at about 9 o'clock. So 12 hours, all schools, colleges, universities, institutions, polytechnics, ITIs, and couple of NGOs and other organizations, those are looking forward to. This is the complete canvas of the chamber, Monday to Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days is dedicated purely, exclusively with complete creativity and innovations with regard to youth empowerment strategy. Friday evening, what is Lord Buddha's teachings and what is the relevance of Lord Buddha's teachings in today's education system? And Saturday evening at 5 p.m., we go ahead with Swami Vivekananda's teachings in education, youth empowerment. And Saturday, you have got second program that is from 6:15 to 7 p.m. That is on Ayurveda and the global wellness. Sunday morning, we take you to United States. We go all the way to Woodbury University, California, Burbank, from where we talk about Srimad Bhagavad Gita and 10 principal Upanishad. Professor Satinder Dhiman, he discusses with all of us. And thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, 3 p.m. on Sunday, we take you on a beautiful journey with the 650 million people population, 10 beautiful countries. When I talk about Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and Brunei. And we deliberate the northeast part of India, the 8 states in India, and the ASEAN on the other side. And the last program is your MSME, your startups, your stand-ups, your self-employment, your skill development, all that is the part what we talk about. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. That is on 15th of October, 3 o'clock, motivational talk on the occasion of the birth anniversary of the immortal soul, that is Abdul Kalamji, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalamji. Tomorrow is his birth anniversary. So from world over, 100,000 people are joining us. So do be a part of this particular campaign. Come directly on the YouTube. It would be a pleasure to have you. When we talk about the new normal in this particular lockdown, it's very important to understand the new triangle, the new normal, and the new norms for the globe is going to be your basic food, your basic health, and your basic education, three of them being taken together. Our chamber believes whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Let's come together for making education relevant. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the distinguished guest of this afternoon. We extend a very hearty welcome to Madam Gauri Mohan. She is the global coach and the trainer, and she is an IDEO U Global Coach, former Duke CE Instructor. When we talk about design thinking, innovation and organization, cultural change, with 18 years plus years of professional diversified experience, played IT and business centric roles, trainers, coach, strategist, consultant, and managers. She is training and coaching professionals, senior executives, and teams from organizations on diverse global business, life, socioeconomic, educational challenges. She has coached senior leaders and teams from incorporate, from NPCI, Indian Oil, Ford, NITI Aayog, IDEO, Accenture Consulting, IBM, Farm to Kitchen, Nasscom, ThoughtWorks, and CSTEP, government official to social organization. She has designed courses and facilitated workshops for educators and students from different streams for IIT Delhi, IIM Lucknow, SPA, Amity, gyms, K-12 schools, senior leader areas from diverse schools of sectors of society and education. She is an outstanding speaker at national and international conferences and events for creative problem solving, innovation, customer centricity via design thinking, organization culture design, and agility. She has worked for national and international organizations like Siemens, GM, Coca Cola, SAP, Labs, Thapar Group, Radio Kitchen, Bombardier, Aerospace, Solvay, and the Minister of IT. She is a proud recipient of various prestigious awards. So, gentlemen, not standing in between her and you anymore, I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of International Chamber for Service Industry. And here we get Madam Gauri Mohan.
Thank you, Dr. Gulshan, for such a warm welcome. And it is privileged to be here with all of you. Uh, I'll just share my screen. I'm so excited to be here with this wonderful, diverse audience from both the national as well as international level. A diverse audience, when I say, is from very, as Dr. Gulshan was sharing, people are educators, professionals, students. So everybody is again, once again, welcome to this. Uh, a little bit about me, Dr. Gulshan have already shared. Uh, so I help organizations and people to build a very essential skill, which they already have, just to boost that. It's called creative confidence, and help them to solve problems today and tomorrow. And that approach is called design thinking. We'll talk about it, what it is, how it can be applied in a bit, and also where it has been applied and why we need it altogether. The most important part is why we should go forward and look forward to this skill. Uh, Currently, I also coach. I'm a global coach for design thinking with IDEO, and also a community of practice member for this globally, uh, for universities, schools, for organizations, right from social, corporate to government organizations across the world. And I'm happy to share more of my experiences there and answer your questions which you would have. Today's agenda is more about, we're focusing on bringing this skill as a part of the education. And in India, as all of you know, national education policy had come in the year 2020 itself, in the second quarter. And I'm just bringing a gist of that, a glimpse of the portion which is indicating what do we need in the students. And we need them to be very creative, innovative, collaborative, and problem solvers. The most important thing is you and me will always have problems, whether it is today or tomorrow. And how do we have a structured approach to solving those problems creatively and bring in innovation? So the skill which has been introduced as a subject in the national education policy, I'm emphasizing on design thinking. There are many more skills, and this has been looked at various important levels at across all the levels at student in the schools. And just to share with you, we've already kicked off this thing very well. NITI Aayog, that is National Institute for Transforming India, is working very aggressively on this agenda. And one of the things which we have done in past few months is I'm associated with IIT Delhi on this program. We designed a course especially for the teachers, because if we really want the students to become creative problem solvers, we have to bring the teachers in the forefront and teach this skill. So what we did is we designed this course, IIT Delhi, along with me and NITI Aayog, under the umbrella of NITI Aayog. We had actually selected 100 plus school teachers across India to get understanding on design thinking by really solving some real challenges which we are facing today, and explore the depth of the skill and understand, and they should be able to go back and then share it with their students. These are recorded sessions. I'm sure whoever is associated with the Atal Innovation Mission in NITI Aayog would be able to access this in future batches. That is the program which NITI Aayog is working on. Apart from designing courses, I did also conducted some workshops which are there, which are recorded for your reference, for you to explore. As I said, you have to be a member of Atal Innovation Mission as a Atal Tinkering Lab school teacher to get that access. And This is where you would get right from the basics of design thinking uh, to the to more on an advanced level. How do you actually exercise this skill and bring this to the forefront? So we completed this course with the first batch just a few weeks ago, and it was indeed a great experience. Now, I'm bringing another shift here because I know we have educators, students, we have professionals. How does it help the professional world? So I'm bringing the startup side here, and this is an interesting data which comes from CB Insights. This is a high-end research organization, well known internationally as well as nationally, and they talk about the top 20 reasons why startups fail. So I'm just focusing on the top one, that is the no market need. So when we say that we have a great and excellent idea and we start working on it, we start building on it, it seems very impressive. It seems something which would immediately we launch it, it would be in, rolling with success. But what the research survey shows is that why startups fail is not because it's not a multi-million dollar idea, but because it has no market need. And when we say the word no market need, it simply says that the problem it's trying to solve, consumers don't foresee a need for that. They don't foresee that it is solving any of their problems. And hence, the startups fail. So this is something why I'm bringing is because I've been a few years ago, I've been a Nasscom startup mentor here, and these are some of the things which I have observed across India. And I see while I'm on this journey of coaching and building this skill in people. So why we are struggling is again, this is where design thinking kicks in, and I'll share with you how does it kicks in here and how does it help in to address the most important thing, that is no market need. It does help in all the rest of the things which are mentioned as well, but the most important is the no market need, and that is about your consumer understanding for whom you're building the solution. I also now want to move from startups. We started with education. We moved to startups. Now I'm going to go to the big organizations. Bill Gates, who's a founder of Microsoft, he said a few years ago that in 3 years, every product my company makes will be obsolete. The only question is whether we will make them obsolete or somebody else will make that obsolete. So the reason this quote I'm bringing in here is we are living in this VUCA world, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. The definition of VUCA has also changed or has got a new meaning. It is vision, understanding, clarity, and agility, especially the kind of era, the pandemic time where the businesses are actually grappling. They are they are looking for how do they strive and thrive in this era where there are so many challenges, especially where the consumer is not coming outside their home to buy the products and avail the services. How do they still create that experience? How do they still bring business value to themselves and create a value for their consumer? So this is something which is even apt today, if you see, and this really calls us that we really need to innovate. Now, all this I've been talking about the why part, and we've been talking about the no market need, why we need to innovate, and also why our national education policy is bringing design thinking. I'll talk about in a while what is design thinking, but I'm just building the context here that it is about it is about understanding your consumer, understanding the human for whom you're solving the problem. It's a creative problem solving approach. Where it has been applied is something which I really wanted you to look at attentively here, is about it has been looked at addressing the problems like how do we create a culture of innovation in an organization, irrespective of it is a startup or it is a big organization, irrespective of the type of business it is a social organization, government, or a business organization, or even a school. So how do we solve complex challenges at workplace? So when I say the word workplace, it's irrespective of, businesses only. It could be the school, it could be the social place, it could be even hospitals. How do we solve the complex challenges which we are facing today? How do we strategically transform the people, the products, services, or consumer experiences for success? Now, this is something is not only to transform the current product, services, or experiences, also has been applied. A design thinking has been applied to create new products, services, or experiences. It is also applied to an area where you want to expand your business, you want to unlock the new market. It is also applied to devising a new strategy. And very important, it is it is applied as a key skill, not only for us to solve these problems, but which are more professional, but also to solve personal problems. And that talks about how do we solve those wicked problems. Now, wicked is a problem, a term which is used for a problem which is not very well defined. Uh, it's something which looks very complex and ambiguous, and it doesn't show a kind of a solution. And it's something which requires very disruptive kind of a thinking. It has to be something unlike the other. It has to be something which is really, a solution has to come out, which is something has to be really new and would help that individual or the person who's solving the problem. So the kind of wicked problems, if I want to give examples, is about life itself. People across any age, they have this dilemma of what do I do with the rest of my life? Then about the startups, okay, I want to do my own work. What do I do? What do I launch? What do I do as a next step in my career? And what is that next thing I should get, deepen my skill and my portfolio of areas of education. So these are some of the examples where people struggle even at the personal level to come up with solutions. Now we have talked enough of the why part and where it has been applied. I'm now going to also talk about giving you some examples, real examples. It has been applied to many, many, many organizations and globally. So I'm bringing a handful of organizations here. Only few of them I'm trying to bring in here, just to give you an experience how diversely it has been applied. So as I talked about, from NITI Aayog to Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, to Stanford, to Harvard, to audit company like KPMG, to manufacturing organizations like Ford, Mahindra, to our own National Payment Corporation of India, to pharmaceutical organization Dr. Reddy, to hospitality, Hyatt, to banking sector, Bank of America, and then big giants like Google, Apple, and many more here. So if you see the kind of, even to the fashion industry, Burberry, London. So if you see the kind of diverse areas I'm bringing here, please note this is just a few of them. And the reason I brought in is to just share with you how diversely it has been applied. You name it, it has been applied even to social organizations. So the only thing what we are trying to look at is problems. That is the common thing which has been the theme. And everybody faces the problem, whether it is business, social, economic, education. So that's where this approach helps it. I also want you to step beyond the problems which we have in this, in our world, beyond this place, and that is space. It has been looked at how do we solve, or how the problem of space debris. Debris is basically, space debris is that you have the man-made objects in space and they're no more useful. How do we clean up that place in the space? So imagine the kind of things where it has been applied just to solve the problem. Now, this so far I've been talking about the why and where. Now let's focus on the what part. Uh, what is design thinking? So design thinking is a structured approach. It's a structured and a very pragmatic, human-centered, creative problem-solving approach. The beauty of this is that it not only helps you in solving the problem innovatively, but it also helps you in finding the right problem. And that's where most of the uh, most of us what where we struggle is that we don't know what is the right problem, and the moment we have the problem, we start looking at the solutions rather than understanding, is this the right problem? And uh, and the way we solve those problems, most of the time it is more of judgments, experiences, based on what we have seen, is something which we look at. So this approach is very pragmatic. It uses a lot of elements of human psychology. It completely focuses on the human who's facing the problem in order to understand the human challenges, the aspirations, the needs, and the desires. So if you see, it is completely focusing on the needs of the people who are facing the problem. So it brings a shift from, for example, if I'm a business person, instead of solving a problem which I'm facing, I see what the consumer is facing the problem. I flip the problem and see from their perspective and try to understand why my business is not struggling. What is that my consumers' needs are? Are my products fulfilling those needs? So instead of being too much product savvy and service savvy, let's become more consumer savvy. Let's become more understanding the psychology of the consumer. And it's changing very fast. If you see today, the influx of information we have is changing very fast. So it is a process which is something which would not only help you today but tomorrow as well, to come up with more right challenges, right insights, and solve those in a very unique and a very creative way. So we looked at what is design thinking, and I also wanted to share with you and give you a little bit information on the phases of design thinking, uh, especially people who are new here. And that is that if you see how we solve the problem here, as I said, it is a very structured approach. We understand the person who's solving the problem. We understand that person very well, their aspirations, their challenges. We see, verify, and validate if that is the right problem we are solving, or the problem is something else the consumer is facing or the human is facing. Then we define the problem. Then we go back and define the problem. So this whole part, the first two, if you look in the screen, empathize and define comes under understanding the problem, understanding your consumer. And then you actually gather inspiration and come up with lots of non-obvious ideas. And these ideas have to be brought into life. So what you need to do is you need to build some potential solutions and test with your consumer. If this is what would help your need, if this is what would help to solve the challenges which you're faced today, as you as in your consumer, and take their feedback, incorporate that feedback, and then implement that. So if you see, the whole notion is from understanding your consumer to identifying the problem to generating non-obvious ideas to building and testing with consumer to see what works, and then finally launching your product. Here, I wanted to give you an social innovation example, a social innovation product example, and that is Embrace Infant Warmer. Many years ago, the students of Stanford University uh, they were looking to solve a problem, and that's where they had traveled to India to see, why the premature babies, when they're born, they die at a very unprecedented rate, something which you cannot even think of. And why is that happening here, especially in a nation like India? So what they did is they traveled to India. They empathized with their consumer, that is, the mothers and the doctors and even the children, the newborn premature babies. what they looked at is the different needs they have, all the stakeholders, right from the doctors to the mothers to the newborn babies. Now, why they need incubators? First of all, why they're dying is because they're not able to get the incubators. And why is that happening is why they need an incubator is because what happens in the premature babies is that they need they need they are not able to generate that much fat which will help them to develop the organs. And with that what happens is that the whole warmth is not given to their body. They're not having that kind of environment where this is done induced artificially, the warmth, and so that the organs develop. Now, with this need, they also looked at the mothers, especially from remote villages. They don't have an access to hospitals. They don't have access to these world-class incubators, And what do they do when the most of the deliveries they happen in the household itself? So how do they help them? Now, they don't have electricity as well. Most of the houses don't have electricity as well. So, so what they did is that understanding the needs from the mothers, from the premature babies, and even doctors. Doctors say that why, as I shared with you, it is important is because they are inducing warmth, and what happens is that helps to develop organs, and that way the premature baby is able to is kept in the incubator. So all these different needs, they had to come up with a solution which is affordable, which solves a need. These are two important things, which solve these needs and is very affordable also, please. Because if you are only coming up with an incubator which is 14 lakhs, uh, nobody would be able to afford it. And even they're not even able to go to the hospital for the delivery. Now, with that challenge, multiple rounds of prototyping had come. And the kind of empathy they did it, they have actually stayed in India and they have observed these different consumers, right, from mothers, doctors, and babies, and actually empathized with them and understood their needs. And they had come up with something called a warmer. If you see on the screen, that's an infant warmer which uh, has a plastic sheet inside, and that plastic sheet has a paraffin wax. Now, even if you don't have electricity, how it works is that at home you have a boiling water. With the help of the boiling water, it is being kept. The temperature of this warmer is raised, and that way it helps the baby to get the warmth. So even at home you can actually get these kind of warmers. And it also helps the needs of the doctors because uh, as uh, as the kind of the quality has to be ensured, it has to suffice the need of the doctor standards, all that it meets the standards which are being mentioned by the doctor as well. and and mothers don't have to travel to the hospitals now just to get all this. They can get this at home. They can boil the water and pour it in the bag. There are pour it below the bag and it heats the paraffin bags, and that way it becomes warm, and after that they can keep the baby inside the warmer. Now, this is something which has come up with an approach which was followed as design thinking. So, with that, my friends, I wanted to give a gist of what is design thinking, why we need it, what are the phases of design thinking, and also I gave you an example and where it has been applied. I'll be happy to answer your questions if you have any for me.
Uh, we will take you now in the fold with the chamber, and we will reach out with your video, which we would share globally. And whatsoever we will have, we get back to you on the LinkedIn, ma'am. And thereafter, we get back to you on the LinkedIn. That is the connection where from we got it. So we will take on further over there. It was wonderful to have, and particularly the health tech with heart, the tagline. And that is something remarkable which you have given over here. And we all are very happy. And NITI Aayog, when you talk about, yes, with Dr. Rajiv, Amitabh Kant, and all those people, our chamber is working very closely, and it's a pleasure to have you this afternoon over here. IIT Delhi, yes, they are doing wonderful job, and particularly Vedanta, when the Swami Vivekanand Foundation from Bangalore, they have done a couple of programs for the youth and design thinking. It's a wonderful, wonderful, and what stage India is and where are we moving with the new education policy, what changes we want to bring. My last question, one question I would like to take with you, how would you like to empower our teachers? Because the most important thing in the education system, if you close down your PPT, then you can come on the frontal and people can just see you over here. That would be better, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
And
Before I go
yes,
forward with
yes,
your question, I think we've already begun that journey. I did share that. We've
yeah.
already designed a course, and teachers are already have tasted it for about
Okay.
1.5 month, and
One
future
takeaway,
batches.
one takeaway point you would like to give them as a thumb rule. One takeaway point. Your course certainly, in fact, I would request you, is your course available on your website?
Sir, this is not my course. This is a course which is
Okay,
under NITI Aayog, as I
okay,
have
okay,
shared. This is
okay.
co-designed with IIT Delhi and
Done,
me. We have designed
done.
this course, and this is
Okay.
available on NITI
So,
Aayog
so to give a
website.
benefit to everybody, that people those are interested to do this particular program, how would they reach out? How would they go? Will they go on NITI Aayog's website? What
Yes.
will they do?
So as for my understanding with the NITI Aayog is that
Ha,
it is only for currently it is for the Atal Innovation Mission
okay.
teachers who are
Tinkering lab.
registered
Yeah.
as Atal Tinkering Lab. But just
Okay.
to answer your question very quickly on the empowering the
Yes.
teachers,
Yes.
I have been doing some these kind of sessions even before we launched this kind of a course a
Yes.
few years ago with schools like Springdale's and Millennium here in
Ha
India
ha.
as well as abroad as well.
Hmm.
One of the things which the teachers can look at is that they train themselves, they get trained on this kind of a course.
Your voice has gone low, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One of the things which they can see for the teachers is that they can get trained on this kind of courses. And once they get trained, they can start practicing. And how they practice is, I'll share with you, Dr. Gulshan. They can
Hmm.
solve challenges like designing a curriculum, even teaching subjects like geography, history, making it more experiential rather than just teaching a subject like history by just being a lecture kind of a mode. How do you make this, how do you empower the students, how do you design a student learning experience? So right from designing a curriculum to designing a student learning experience to designing a process in the school to designing a class where students feel more empowered to doing more of experimentation and bringing in the skills of sharing stories, bringing in ideas. Uh, there's one I can share which helps teachers is that a couple of websites do offer this kind of a thing where it is available as they can Google it. But what I see is I suggest the teachers to go to their schools and ask them to get themselves trained on this area, because this I don't see as a separate subject only. This is something which can be used to teach your subjects as well.
Integrated in the entire journey. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Gauri Mohan, the global coach and the trainer this afternoon on design thinking for all of us. And as our chamber is focusing during this pandemic, during this lockdown, right from the beginning, of course, the policy was declared by the government on 29th of July. But right from 25th of March, we have been doing the hand holding and 12 hours beaming throughout the day, going to Mongolia, going to Central Asia, going to Middle East, in the evening going to the Spanish population all the way to Latin America. So I would say whatever best we can do, these are the innovations and these are the creative ways by which we wanted more and more hand holding to be done and to empower the entire education ecosystem. So design thinking, very important for all of us. Ma'am, we look forward to further lot of valuable inputs in future from your side. And I'm pretty sure that this particular video, once we send across to all our advisors in 152 countries, and we sent across to our research team and a couple of other people, we would share with all of them. So thank you very much for sparing your most valuable time this afternoon and to be with us over here. Thanks a lot. We wish you all the success. We wish you all the